And let's move on to the big international story that is coming in this morning. Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard has said that Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh has been assassinated at his residence in Tehran. No one has immediately claimed responsibility for this attack that was carried out, but as we understand that there is a possibility that it was These were Israeli defense forces who carried out this attack, but an official statement is awaited as no one has claimed responsibility for this attack so far. Let's go across to senior journalist Yeshaya Rosenman, who's joining us live from Jerusalem. Thank you for taking out time and speaking to Republic. If I can get first thoughts of yours on the developments in the last 24 hours or so when it comes to this attack on the Hamas chief. Who do you think could be probably behind this attack on the Hamas chief?
Good morning. I don't think there's any doubt who did it. A missile landed on his house in Tehran, and although there is yet to be an official statement from our government, it is quite clear that we did it. I think Hamas's political bureau issued a statement that it was a treacherous Zionist raid in Tehran, and I wish them many more such raids. Yes, it's quite clear who did it, and this comes right after, less than a day after the elimination of head of Hezbollah's military wing, Faud Shukr in Beirut.
Yes.
These are two high-profile assassinations, and one of the main messages we can glean from this is that the heads of terror are not safe anywhere, in Beirut nor in Tehran.
Yes. Stay with us. Just a quick follow-up question. How do you view this particular incident, the fact that the Hamas chief has now been shot dead? How do you think this is going to impact the Israel-Hamas war going forward?
It's unclear because it's an interesting question. The question is, one relevant question is, what other arenas will develop now, given that there was an attack in Beirut and now an attack in Tehran? And Hamas fights out of Gaza. So the question is, will Iran activate all of its proxies simultaneously? Will Hezbollah come into full open war in Lebanon? Hamas already is in war. And will Iran retaliate from Iran with more missile attacks or any other such attacks? So the question is, what further escalation there will be, what the next steps will be.
So, two big developments in the last 24 hours. One, the Beirut strike that was carried out, the Hezbollah commander was shot dead, and the second, of course, being the Tehran strike. Do you see other countries also coming in at this stage and also issuing statement as to who are they exactly going to side with when it comes to this war, which is escalating in the Middle East?
Well, yes. Well, further countries coming into armed conflict, I don't think so, because they already have began with armed conflict. The head of the Houthis in Yemen issued a statement condemning the assassination. Abu Mazen, the head of the Palestinian Authority, denounced the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. So that is, again, it's interesting to see whose side he is on in these affairs as well. So condemnations, there will be more. I'm sure other countries, Syria, Qatar will probably issue a condemnation. But other countries coming into armed conflict, no.
Just last question before we let you go. Given that some of the hostages, so as to say, have not been released yet by the Hamas terror group, do you see that happening in the near term, given that Hamas chief, who's now been shot dead, is a major blowback, a setback for the Hamas group?
Ismail Haniyeh was among those negotiating for the hostage release. Personally, I am of the opinion that the hostage release was never, the deal was never a realistic option, because they were demanding basically Israel's capitulation. They were demanding Israel not eliminate Hamas as an effective ruler in the Gaza Strip. So that was never a clause that Israel could abide by. So I think the deal was never realistic, and therefore this has relatively little implications. The only way to, in my opinion, to free the hostages is by military force.
Right. Appreciate you speaking to us. So that was Yehana joining us live from Jerusalem.